I've pre-strung the seed beads onto the thread, and I've wound shuttle 2, the green shuttle, and shuttle 1 is my pink shuttle. I'm starting with a mock ring, so I'm starting it like a chain, putting the thread from shuttle 2 over my hand like I'm tatting a chain. I'm leaving a large loop at the beginning, as I'm going to put the bead onto that loop in a little bit. So I just start tatting like I'm tatting a chain, and when I need a bead, I'm sliding it up the thread. I'm actually going to slide a lot of beads up at a time, put them at the back of my hand until I need them, and then slide up a bead into a picot, and then continue tatting. And I can just do normal picots also as needed for my design. Then when I've got enough to tat that will fit halfway around the bead, I'm going to pick up the bead that I want in the center and put it onto a crochet hook and slip it onto that large loop that I had left at the beginning. There are other ways to add the bead onto the loop if the crochet hook doesn't work. Now, to save a space between the tatting and the bead, I'm going to put in a paper clip. The paper clip will stick on the outside of the tatting. Then I take shuttle 1 and put that through the loop, trying to keep it straight, not twisted. Put the shuttle all the way through and tighten up the loop. Until it's tight around the bead. Now we've tatted halfway around the bead, and so just continue tatting the rest of the way around the bead. Here I'm leaving a picot right at the end of the bead, and continuing on to tat around the other side. When I have tatted all the stitches that I need, then I snug it up as tight as I can and take out that paper clip, and now put a crochet hook into that little loop that was left when I took out the paper clip. I'm going to take the core thread, the shuttle 1 thread, and pull that through the loop to make a lock join. So I pulled through the shuttle thread, putting shuttle 1 through the loop, and snug it up very tightly, and pull through, tighten up the knot, and there's the lock join. Now I'm going to continue with the chain, still using shuttle 1. Shuttle 2 is still acting like a ball thread. I tat as many stitches as I want for the chain until I get to the part where I want to put a floating ring. A floating ring is a ring that's thrown off the chain using shuttle 2. So now I'm going to pick up, well, first I want to put the bead on that I'm going to have in the center of the ring. So I pick up the bead, and in the same way I put it on the crochet hook, but this time I'm going to hook it onto the shuttle 2 thread. I pull through a loop, pick up a paper clip, and Going to use the paper clip to hold the bead temporarily in place. I tighten it up so that the paper clip is snug against the bead. Then put the bead, I put the thread from shuttle 2 around the bead and again over the top of the bead. And since I'm going to want some seed beads coming off from a picot within that ring, I have to get the beads into my working circle for the ring before I get started. And the remaining beads I wind back a few turns on the shuttle to keep them out of the way. So I'm going to put them inside the working circle, the beads that I'm going to need. They're at the back of the hand until I need them. Now I just start tatting the ring, making the first stitch snug up against the bottom of the bead. And continue tatting. Then when I've reached halfway around the bead, I'm going to remove the paper clip. I'm going to put the crochet hook through that loop that's sticking out of the bead, put it under the shuttle, the core thread, and pull the thread that's on my left hand through the loop. Then using that same shuttle that I've been tatting the ring with, it's a floating ring, so it's shuttle 2, put it through the loop and snug it up. This is really like a normal join, so it should still slide. Then I'm going to take the beads, slide them up to make a beaded picot. And I also want to put a bead on the core thread, so the bead on the core thread will be coming from the shuttle. I'm still using shuttle 2. Okay, there's my beaded picot with also another bead on the core thread, and continue tatting the rest of the ring. And in this case, this is a normal ring, not a mock ring. And when I've got all the stitches done, then I'm closing up the ring as usual by pulling on the core thread and snug it up as tightly as possible around the bead. Okay, once I've done that, I put the shuttle 2 down and continue chatting the chain by picking up shuttle 1. So shuttle 2 goes back to acting like a ball thread. I finish the chain using shuttle 1. This will allow a smooth, continuous curve in that chain with the beaded ring floating off of it. When I finish that chain, I'm going to join to the next open picot on that center ring using a lock join. So I'm going to put my crochet hook through the picot and pull the shuttle 1 thread, which is my core thread right now, and pull that through the picot and put shuttle 1 through the loop, trying to keep it not twisted. And snug that up tightly. Okay, then I've got that chain done with a beaded floating ring coming off of it, and I just continue tatting to start the next chain. And when I get to the end of that where I would continue around and do the rest of the project in the same manner.